Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 132, Calculus with Applications, Section 12.1, Problem 21. This is Section 12.1, Problem number 21. It says find the derivative of the function f of x equals square root of x over 10 minus 10 over square root of x plus 10 times the square root of x. So to start this problem off, the first thing we have to do is get rid of the square root. The square root symbol does not fit with our formula of the exponent comes down times the number in front, you reduce the exponent by 1. So first of all, let me write this as x to the 1/2 power over 10 instead of square root of x over 10 minus 10 over x to the 1/2 power, again instead of 10 over square root of x, plus 10 times square root of x will be 10 times x to the 1/2 power. So this is the same exact problem. Again, I didn't do f prime yet. This is still f of x. But I've written that square root of x in a form that fits my formula for taking the derivative. Now I have a variable with an exponent. Let me even clean it up a little bit more before I do f prime of x. So again, this is still f of x. F of x equals the x to the 1/2 over 10. I can write that really as 1/10 times x to the 1/2 minus the piece in the middle has a variable in the denominator. I have 10 over x to the 1/2. I can't leave the variable in the denominator, so I deal with that by writing the same variable, same exponent, but making it negative. 10 over x to the 1/2 power can be written as 10 times x to the negative 1/2 power. And then the piece on the end, 10 times x to the 1/2 power, doesn't have to change. I'll just leave that the way it is. Now I can finally do f prime. Now each piece I can take the exponent, bring it down, times the number in front, reduce the exponent by 1. Now it's f prime, the derivative, f prime of x. So now the exponent of 1/2 comes down times the number in front, 1/10. So I'm going to have 1/2 times 1/10. Now careful, this doesn't reduce. The 2 and the 10 divide evenly, but they're both in the denominator. X to the 1 less power. So 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. Now the next piece, I have negative 10x to the negative 1/2. So now the exponent of negative 1/2 comes down times the negative 10. The negative times the negative cancels, becomes positive. 1/2 times 10 is 5. X to the negative 1/2 minus 1 is negative 3/2. So let's take a look at that one just for a minute. Let's come off to the side. Negative 1/2 minus 1. That's what I want to do to make my new exponent. Think of the minus 1 as minus 2 over 2. That's still a 1, but in this form I have a common denominator now. Common denominator is 2. My numerator is minus 1 minus 2 is minus 3. There's where the minus 3/2 came from. And then the last piece, I'm going to have 10x to the 1/2. The 1/2, the exponent comes down times the number in front. 1/2 times 10 is 5. X to the 1 less power is minus 1/2. Same type of process as what we did here. That 1/2 minus 1, you can think of as 1/2 minus 2 over 2. The 1 can be written as a 2 over 2. And now common denominator is 2. The numerator is 1 minus 2, negative 1 or negative 1/2. Now let's clean things up a little bit. F prime of x equals 1/2 times 1/10. So with our fractions, we're going to multiply top times top. 1 times 1 is 1. Bottom times bottom, 2 times 10 is 20. So I have 1/20th x to the negative 1/2 plus 5x to the negative 3/2. I don't have to simplify that much. Plus 5x to the negative 1/2. Now that is the answer, but I can combine some like terms. Notice x to the 1/2 power on the end and x to the negative 1/2 power in the beginning. So I can combine the numbers in front. So this is the answer, and you could use it, but it makes sense to combine 5 and another 1/20th. So 5 plus another 20th is 5 and 1/20th. So let me put the answer up here. So f prime of x would be 5 and 1/20th x to the minus 1/2 plus 5x to the minus 3/2, like that.